Neville Goddard, Power of Awareness, Chapter 17, All Things Are Possible. It is of great significance that the truth of the principles outlined in this book have been proven time and again by the personal experiences of the author. Throughout the past 25 years, he has applied these principles and proved them successful in innumerable instances. He attributes an unwavering assumption of his wish already being fulfilled every success that he has achieved. He attributes to an unwavering assumption of his wish already being fulfilled every success that he has achieved. He was confident that by these fixed assumptions, his desires were predestined to be fulfilled. Time and again, he assumed the feeling of his wish fulfilled and continued in his assumption until that which he desired was completely realized. Cannot be stressed too much. He was confident that by these fixed assumptions, his desires were predestined to be fulfilled. And here comes the sentence of most importance. Time and again, over and over, time and again, over and over, time and again. What is it you must do? Time and again, time and again. He assumed the feeling of his wish fulfilled and continued in his assumption. Continued in his assumption until that which he desired was completely realized. Why do so many people, including myself, go so far and quit? Oh, I don't see any results. I don't see anything yet. Quitting is not where it's at. It's okay to quit, but you're just looking back like Lot's wife. You're going to be stuck in that loop. And when you have awareness of this, and you look back, and you go back to being stuck, that's double torture. When you're aware of this, and you're aware of the assumptions creating your reality, and you can have anything you want, and all happiness is at the other end of this rainbow, and you choose to stop applying and turn around and go back, what are you going to feel? How's that going to feel? You must continue. Live your life in a sublime spirit of confidence and determination. Disregard appearances, conditions, in fact, all evidence of your senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. Boom! Big time. Live your life in a sublime spirit of confidence and determination. Be determined that I am going to arrive at my destination. Right there. I am all that is God. Self-concept. My new self-concept, my current self-concept. I am that I am. Be determined. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to step in. Your wife, your husband, your father, your mother, your daughter, your son, your brother, your sister, your friend, your enemy. No one is coming in to step in for you. You can ask people to imagine lovingly for you, but you still have to do it. You can be in a group of others who all know how to imagine lovingly for others and get great results. You still have to do it. Live your life in a sublime spirit of confidence and determination. Disregard appearances. There's a lot of opportunity to curse my ass off on this channel because I want to make a point, but I don't want to go there. I don't think it's necessary. You know, I do like using bar language. It is fun. It makes a good point, but it's really not necessary totally. But how to make it more emphatic? Disregard appearances. Stop looking at the world thinking that it's real. Conditions, in fact, all evidence of your senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. Disregard this stuff. Stop looking at it. I'm just saying this as calm as Paul. I'm trying to be a pickle here. Disregard that crap. All right? Rest in the assumption that you are already what you want to be. For in that determined assumption, you and your infinite being are merged in creative unity. And with your infinite being, God, he has in parentheses, all things are possible. God never fails. God never fails. This might be the most important paragraph of the entire book. Of every paragraph, of all the books we've read so far, of every paragraph we've gone in this book, all right, it's a wonderful book. Wonderful book. That might be the most important paragraph in all of it. I will repeat, but let me do the quote first. For who can stay his hand or say unto him, what doest thou? Go back to the paragraph. Let's comb it one more time. It deserves it. You deserve it. Live your life in a sublime spirit of confidence and determination. Disregard appearances, conditions, in fact, all evidence of your senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. Rest in the assumption that you are already what you want to be. For in that determined assumption, you and your infinite being are merged in creative unity. And with your infinite being, God, all things are possible. God never fails. He is never so far away. Here's you. He's right there. When you stop and say, I am, you're in communion with him. He is never so far as to be so near. Look at this. I and my Father are one. My Father is greater than I. I am. Close the door of your closet. You're in communion with him. God never fails. So you, since you are made by him, will never fail. That's a promise. Think about it. If he never fails and he made you in his image and forgot himself in you so that you'd wake up and remember that you are him, and he never fails, you're never going to fail. There is no failing. It's not an option. You can try and hide. Was that part of the, excuse me for this, but I don't remember what the point of the movie, The Last Temptation of Christ was. I think it went extreme on the physical world stuff of crucifixion, etc. But there was that idea of him hiding and going back. He was on his way to fulfill his destiny. I'm just paraphrasing. But he took a side detour and went and enjoyed the taste of life for a while. Then he finally realized he had to go out of that dream back to the original dream. Anyway, sometimes the thoughts fly in. For he who can stay his hand or say unto him, what doest thou? Through the mastery of your assumptions, you are in very much enabled to master life. Through the mastery of your assumptions, you are in very truth, enabled to master life. It is thus that the ladder of life is ascended. I will not climb a ladder. Oh, heck yes, you will. You're going to climb that ladder over and over and over. In fact, you've already been doing this all the time. It is thus that the ladder of life is ascended. Thus, the ideal is realized. The clue to the real purpose of life is to surrender yourself to your ideal. With such awareness of its reality, that you begin to live the life of the ideal and no longer your own life as it was prior to this surrender. Surrender your life, this life, to the ideal. Oh, what wonderful words. The clue to the real purpose of life is to surrender yourself to your ideal with such awareness of its reality that you begin to live the life of the ideal and no longer your own life as it was prior to this surrender. Okay. You're single, you're not married, you're not in love, and you want to be married in a relationship in love. What is it that you must surrender to realize this life? What do people in love do? Do they go to the seaside and walk on the beach? Do they go to the shops down by the shore? Do they go to the mall? What do people in love and what do couples go and do? What is stopping you from doing that? What is stopping you from embodying within yourself physically the same thing these people are doing? If you're in and around those activities, you would be in and around the same energy. Embody that reality. Make it all around you. He calleth things that are not seen as though they were, and the unseen becomes seen. Each assumption has its corresponding world. Oh, I just had a flash in my mind. If you're in this state of single, not married, not in love, and you want to be in this state and married and in love, and you know that all the couples in your area are going to this specific place and enjoying themselves, it doesn't matter what the place is. Let's say it's at the Village by the Sea, and couples are sitting in these certain restaurants or these certain bars or these certain activities or eating ice cream cones, and you go down there, and now all of a sudden you're in and among that crowd, and what are you hearing? You're hearing conversations. You're hearing conversations that you would be having if you were here. But now since you're hearing them, you're making the impression that you're also having these conversations. There's nothing wrong with imagining. It's free. You're imagining when he says this to her, standing right next to you enjoying an ice cream cone, and you have your ice cream cone, and you hear him say to her, and she responds to whatever he said, and then you're going to say in your imagination, I'm saying the same thing, or I'm saying this differently. And he's happy that I said that. I'm being playful here, but the idea is what stops kids from playing? What stops kids from imagining? You give them a piece of chalk and they do these wonderful things on the sidewalk with it. What stops them? Is there anything trying to stop them? They don't even try and stop themselves. They go with reckless abandon straight down into the sidewalk and start drawing things and playing hopscotch and doing all kinds of, give them colors and they'll draw paintings, etc. Nothing is in their way. I don't know what it is, but they just don't have any clue that imagination is a good or bad thing. They just do it. They don't have any qualm with imagining. If you, down at the seaside, are standing next to a couple and you're not married and you want to be, and you see them and you want to objectify that in your reality, what is stopping you from imagining that you are there too, as a couple? That you're standing there, even though couples are around you, and there's no one next to you, but you're standing there eating your ice cream cone, imagining you with your partner. You're starting to feel the reality as real. What do you think kids are doing with teacups? If they're playing with the dollhouse and they got teacups, and they're having tea and there's nothing in the cup, and they ask you to join them, and you're picking up this cup and you know it's empty, why don't you stop and tell them, hey, this is phony? You don't do that. You wouldn't step on their dreams. You wouldn't crash down all the reality with their fantasy or their imagining. You wouldn't do that. So it's not as difficult, if you think about it, to go ahead and use your imagination in the same way. Healthy, wealthy, married, in love, freedom. It doesn't matter. You have the same power as that child playing tea. Each assumption has its corresponding world. If you are truly observant, you will notice the power of your assumptions to change circumstances which appear wholly immutable. You, by your conscious assumptions, determine the nature of the world in which you live. Ignore the present state and assume the wish fulfilled. Claim it, it will respond. I am that, I am. I am that. I am that, I am. It will respond. The law of assumption is the means by which the fulfillment of your desires may be realized. Every moment of your life, consciously or unconsciously, you are assuming a feeling. Every moment of your life, consciously or unconsciously, you are assuming a feeling. Every moment. You can no more avoid assuming a feeling than you can avoid eating and drinking. All you can do is control the nature of your assumptions. Thus, it is clearly seen that the control of your assumption is the key you now hold to an ever-expanding, happier, more noble life. Oh my gosh, man. What a chapter. Power of Awareness, chapter 17. All things are possible. This is really profound. Oh, such good pieces in here. What was your favorite? Did you have one? Oh my gosh. Okay. It's just I am constantly moved by when Neville talks about assumptions, because it's, you see that they have their own actual life. When you have a dream and you rest in the assumption that you already are what you want to be, then that determined assumption, you and your infinite being are brought together in creative unity. And all things are possible here. And the assumption itself is what fulfills. The assumption is like, it's like a wind-up, I don't know if we don't have them so much nowadays, but those little wind-up toys. You wind and you sit on the ground and it just goes. That's your assumption. You just put the idea forth and it goes. You put the idea forth into your subconscious and it goes, it becomes. It's going to become. And it's going to bring you with it. All right. Wow. Man, that was a good one. We'll see you in the next chapter.